Okay, so before we move further, let me introduce myself. My name is Kashif. I have been in this field for the past 9 years. I have taken more than 300 batches so far on SCCM. I do online training, classroom training, corporate training, as and when the requirement comes in. Uh, Based on the requirement, I provide the training. I am not only a trainer, but I am a working professional. I am working here in one of the US based companies, wherein my role is L3 SCCM administrator. I need to make sure SCCM infrastructure is running absolutely fine, or any issues comes in, we have to come into the picture and resolve the problem. And uh, apart from SCCM, I have expertise on application packaging, Active Directory, Microsoft Azure, uh, VMware, VDI. So I enjoy this. It gives me more sense, as well as it gives me more learning as well. I keep on learning more and more things by this method. So I am an IT graduate. I completed my graduation from Mumbai University, and then I started working, and side by side I'm doing this freelance training as well. So that's about me. I would like you guys to introduce yourself, your background, and what is your expectation out of this training. So we can start from Pankaj.
Hi, Gasip.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, basically, I'm working as a system administrator, and recently I came to US just 2 months ago, and I'm searching job here. Before that, I worked as a system admin in Gujarat.
Okay. So in system administrator, you were working, you already, if I'm not mistaken, you would have worked on Active Directory and
Yes,
other stuff, right?
yeah, I have experience with the Active Directory and VMware.
Very good, very good. So you already know how the servers and computers communicate with each other, and how they can authenticate with the main controller. How can we join
Yeah,
it? Very good, very good. And what is your expectation out of this training?
actually, when I'm searching here, um, so most of the requirement is SSM. So that's I decided to learn these things. I also actually attend YouTube SSCM videos. Many videos I have seen for the
Okay,
SSCM.
okay, very good. So you don't have any hands-on experience on SCCM.
Yeah, yeah, I don't have any hands-on experience.
Okay, good. Uh, Kiran,
Uh, Hi, my name is Kiran Kumar Reddy, and I'm working as a Scrum designer and architect for a US-based organization in Bangalore. And I have almost 10 plus years. And related to, I just worked on the Windows administration cluster, DR failovers, and all those things. Uh, I mean, I'm aware of the Active Directory and how the authentications and all these things happens altogether. And related to SCCM, I have some knowledge on the components, what are the different components that are available through the SCCM and the endpoint managers and all those details. Uh, More specifically, I just wanted to get inject onto the troubleshooting part for the uh, both at like OSD deployment and packaging and patching and all these things, especially on the SCCM 2016 right now.
Okay, very good. Nirmal,
Hi, my name is Nirmal, and I'm a recent graduate of I'm a recent graduate, and I'm a graduated from San Diego State University in US. And actually, what I'm expecting from this training is a basic idea about SCCM and possible some hands-on lab experience as well. And through this, I'm actually trying to get a break in the job market, as SCCM has a really good scope here in the job market in US. So I don't have any IT background before, so I'm just trying to enter the market through this SCCM training, and that's what I'm expecting from the training.
okay, very good, guys. So, thank you for giving your introduction. Uh, so, I would also like to know what is your computer configuration, because we can do two types of lab setup, either on cloud or on your local computer. So SCCM needs high configuration, something like 12 gigabyte of RAM and quad core processor. So anyone who has 12 gigabyte of RAM and more than that, we can do the lab setup on the local computer.
I have.
And
Uh,
Pankaj, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have,
so is
12,
it how many systems do
12
we
gig
require?
RAM and with Core i7.
sorry.
12 GB RAM and Core i7 processor. So no need to worry.
Okay. In Nirmal,
Um, I have quad core processor, but my RAM is just around 8 GB,
8
so I
gigabyte.
don't think it will be. Yeah, I don't think it will support.
Okay, and Kiran?
Uh, One thing is I wanted to check how many systems do we require actually.
Okay, so if you have good processor and good
I
RAM,
have a 64 GB system,
mhm,
but but the thing is, how many like we can? I just deployed a VMware virtual machine manager. Sorry, VMware workstation on that,
mhm.
and I'm not sure, but like how much how many systems we require based on that probably we can then just
Mini, minimum three, maximum three systems. Okay, one domain controller, one SCCM, and one client computer. If we are talking about local lab setup.
okay. And all of them require only one machine require 12 GB RAM and the other require
No, no.
probably 2 GB.
Domain controller needs 1 or 2 gigabyte is fine. Client is also 1 or 2 gigabyte is fine, but SCCM at least needs 6 gigabyte because it has a database as well. It will have SCCM component as well. If you want to keep database on a separate server, you can also do that. So you can give four gigabyte to database and 4 gigabyte to SCCM.
Yeah, in that case I have it locally available.
Locally, it is available. Okay, so for Nirmal, I think we will have to go on cloud then. You have 8 gigabyte of RAM, right, Nirmal?
Yes, I have 8 gigabyte of RAM and AMD A12 7th generation processor, and it's quad core, but still the RAM is not enough, I guess.
RAM is not enough.
I mean, if you told that minimum 12 GB of RAM is required, so we can do this online as well, right? Like with the Azure.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, fine, no issues. We can discuss this. Okay, so let me take you to the overview of SCCM. You guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So SCCM is a Microsoft product, as you guys already know about it. SCCM, the full form of SCCM is System Center Configuration Manager. It's a premier solution by Microsoft. It was not SCCM before, it was SMS, and that was launched in 1994. It is called System Management Server. Okay, so basically it is managing the system. So that's the reason Microsoft had given a name as System Management Server. This was released in 1994, and the version were something like SMS 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Then Microsoft released SMS 2003, and this was released in the year 2003, and this was a major hit. People started using it, and people found it very good for their device management. But over a period of time, everything needs improvement. So Microsoft received multiple suggestions and feedback from multiple companies. So they developed, they added some more feature in SMS 2003, SP1, SP2, multiple releases. Later, Microsoft released SCCM 2007. So from here, Microsoft started SCCM. So they dropped the naming convention SMS and they started using as SCCM from 2000, and this was released in 2007. What is this one, SCCM? So SCCM is System Center Configuration Manager. So if you see here, Manager, System Center is a family, and Configuration Manager is a product. Any question, guys, so far? Anyone?
No.
Okay. So System Center is a family. It's like a base product, and in that one you have multiple product inside, like System Center Operation Managers, COM, right? SCVM. Okay. Other products are also available in this System Center family. So Microsoft started this SCCM 2007, SP1, R2, SP2. Okay. Then Microsoft released a newer version, SCCM 2012, and that was released in the year 2012. Then Microsoft released multiple versions of SCCM 2012, like SP1, SP2, R2. Then they stopped using SP1 and SP2. They thought we will be we will not be using this term, rather we will be releasing SCCM thrice a year. So they started using like this, SCCM 1511. That means year and month. So November 2015. Then from here 1602, this was in Feb 2016, SCCM 1606, June 2016, SCCM 1610, October 2016, SCCM 1702, Web 2017, SCCM 1706, June 2017, SCCM 1710, October 2017. And this is the latest branch, SCCM. Any confusion so far, guys?
No.
No.
Okay. So SCCM has Microsoft has promised that they will release SCCM version thrice a year. So 1602, 1606, 16010, 1610, and similarly they have released 1702, 176, 1710. But this is the latest branch is not yet in the production, that is in preview at the moment. This one you can say that's in the production. Okay. Now, so this was the historical background of SCCM. Now let's discuss about the certification. So after the training, if you want to go for the certification is exam code is 70-243. That is taken by Microsoft. Sorry. And you need to score at least 700 out of 1000 to pass the exam. The cost of the exam is somewhere around 4800 INR in India, and in US it is around $160. Got it? Now let's discuss about the training. The training duration maximum 35 hours. Also, after taking this exam, you get MCP, Microsoft Certified Professional. Any question? Are you guys good?
So exam is like MCSA
Yeah.
like no
Yes.
option.
Yes.
Okay.
But in MCSE and MCSA contains 3 paper and MCSE contains 5 paper. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have only one paper here, 70-243. MCSA has 410, 411, and 412. MCSE has 410, 411, 412, 413, and 414. So you don't need to give multiple papers. It is only one is sufficient for you for SCCM. It is
Okay.
SCCM administration and deployment. Okay.
Okay.
So we talked about the historical background of SCCM. We talked about the certification and the training. So let's move on to SCCM overview. Now, what SCCM can do? Why we need SCCM? Because it's a product of Microsoft and we need to know in and out about this product, right? What is the capability of this product? So, well, different. The very first thing SCCM can do is asset management. So let's say you have thousands and thousands of devices in your company. SCCM is capable of giving you all the data, whatever hardware, software present in your organization. Let's say what model of monitor you have, what is the hard disk capacity, what is the RAM capacity, what model of motherboard and processor you have. SCCM keeps everything in its database and you can get it from there. What all software present um, in computers, SCCM will be able to find that out and give that to you. Asset intelligence. SCCM does the categorization of application. Let's say few applications are falling under browser category like Safari, Google Chrome, Firefox. Few applications are falling under player category like MX player, VLC player, um, window media player. So SCCM will categorize those and will let you know. Software metering. SCCM is capable of monitor the usage of the application. Suppose Adobe Acrobat, which is a licensed application, and you want to find out how many people are using that product. So SCCM will be able to find that for you and give that to you in the report. Report remote management. SCCM using SCCM you can remote into other devices. Okay, any devices which are available in your organization. Then the the major section of SCCM, basically SCCM is a deployment tool which gives you a very good functionality to deploy application everywhere in one shot. Okay, so let's say you need to install Google Chrome on 50,000 devices all over the globe. How will you do that? You cannot do it manually every computer. So rather SCCM is capable of doing that. You can put the application on SCCM and SCCM is a delivery tool. It will deliver the application to all the computers which you are targeting to. So application management is one of the major component of SCCM. Software update management. Microsoft keeps on releasing updates to make the computers and its product up to date and healthy. So SCCM, using SCCM you can um, uh, download the patches which are being released by Microsoft and you can send the patches to your devices so that your devices are up to date. Operating system deployment. SCCM is capable of doing operating system deployment as well. You don't need to install operating system manually using a pen drive or CD disk. You can use SCCM to do the deployment, whether it is a Windows 10 or Windows 7 or Windows Server. You can use SCCM for the deployment. Content management. So SCCM keeps your content let's say all the application, all the operating system files, all the software updates. So you can also use SCCM to manage your contents. Compliance management. Using SCCM, you can set a compliance check. Like if you want to find out how many computers are with lower version of Java, how many computers are with lower version of Internet Explorer, and you will set a baseline that if the version is below 10.0, the computer will be identified as non-compliant. So SCCM will be able to check that for you, how many computers are compliant and non-compliant, and give you the report. Okay. Power management. For example, after 7 o'clock, no one is in the office, and people are not available in the office. So what you can do is you can create a power policy that after 7 p.m., when people already left for the day, you can turn off the monitors or shut down the computers or put the computer on sleep mode or hibernate mode, so that your power consumption will be reduced at that point of time from 7 p.m. till morning. The whole night, from evening till morning, you have less power consumption, so your usage will be, your utility bill will be reduced. Client health. Since SCCM is a client server based application, so SCCM keeps on checking the client healthiness. If the client is healthy, then it will be talking to the client without any issues. But in case the client is not healthy, then it will repair the client. Reporting. Whatever the software, hardware, asset intelligence, everything you can get it in report. Monitoring. SCCM keeps on monitoring its component, like software update, deployment of application, operating system, and it will give you the data whether anything is in warning or critical stage. You can monitor the component of SCCM. Then you have security, and under security you have role based administration. So role based is, for example, you are joining SCCM team, but you are good with software update only, patching. You don't know anything apart from that. So I'll give you only patching role. Okay. You're joining SCCM team, but you are good with operating system deployment. So I'll give you only operating system deployment role. So you don't mess and other things which you don't know. That is called role based administration. NAP, network access protection. For example, if some computers do not have the latest version of the patches are not available, and the computer is identified as vulnerable. Okay, so SCCM will be able to identify those computers and remove the network access of that computer and put it on a different LAN network where the access is restricted. Endpoint protection is the antivirus. You can use SCCM to deploy this antivirus, and if it finds any virus, or it will kill the virus, it will keep on scanning the computer for any Trojan virus or any threat, so that your computers are safe and secure. There is one more and major component of SCCM which is recently added in SCCM from SCCM 2012, SP2, mobile device management. So using SCCM, You can also manage your Android, iPhone, or your tab, or your Windows phone or Windows computer, which are not connected on the LAN network, which are on internet. You can send the policy like how your mobile device will be um, behaving. Uh, let's say you want your users not to use the camera on their mobile devices. You can create a policy for that. In case you wanna create a policy that Bluetooth should not be working, user cannot go to any website, user cannot do copy paste. You can create a policy and do that. Um, User must have a password, 8-character password, alphanumeric password. It has to be changed every 60 days. You can factory reset the device remotely. You can factory reset the password so that in case you are accessing your company's data on your mobile device, SCCM administrator will have full control on your device. They can remotely take action on your device. That is called mobile device management. Is it clear, guys? Any questions so far?
No, I'm clear with the concepts.
Kashif, sorry for interruption. I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
In compliance management, in client and how it's monitored, means its OS is defected or related to application is not working. What type of management in client health?
Client health or compliance management?
Client health, sorry, compliance.
Client, we are talking about SCCM client. Every
Okay, okay,
computer
okay,
should have SCCM agent installed. Then only that computer will be managed by SCCM server. Okay.
okay.
So SCCM agent keeps on talking to the server. In case the client, the SCCM agent is not reporting to the server and it has some issues for whatever reason, then the client healthiness will be considered as unhealthy, and SCCM server will repair the client or reinstallation of client will happen so that it will start reporting back to the server. Got it?
Got it.
Any more question, guys, on this?
Uh, any major differences can when compared to 2012 to 2016?
No major as such. In 2012, mobile device management was not there. It started from 2012 SP2, and in if you compare 2012 and 2016, the major difference I can see is uh, once you cannot expand the hierarchy. In the earlier version of SCCM, once the hierarchy is defined, you cannot expand it, you cannot modify it. As in, I'll tell you what is the hierarchy I am talking about. But the console of 2012 and till today to the 1710 all look same. Everything is all similar, little bit addition, but all look same. No major difference. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Now, SCCM has three sites: central administration site, primary site, secondary site. Central administration site is capable of handling 4,000 devices, 400,000 devices. And now the current SCCM, this I am talking about this 2012, but the current SCCM 16 from 1602, SCCM is capable of handling 700,000 devices, 7 lakh. Got it? So that is a central administration site which is capable of handling 700,000 devices all over the globe. Then you have primary site. Primary site is capable of handling 100,000 devices all over the globe. And then you have secondary site that is capable of handling 5,000 devices. Clear? So I'll create one diagram. You will be able to understand what is primary and central administration site. So let's assume that you have a company, Wipro, and you have how many? Let's say 50,000 devices in one location, let's say in Chennai. Okay, and there is only one building Chennai has, one building Wipro has in Chennai, and all the people are sitting together in that building. So what you do? You create SCCM primary site, and that is capable of managing all the devices in that building. Clear? Now, suppose you have expanded your business and you put some branch offices in Mumbai, in London, Hyderabad, Paris, and New York. And every branch offices will have devices, right? People will be there, they will have computers, right? So let's say this branch, Paris branch has 1,000 devices. New York branch has 1,000 devices. Mumbai branch has 2,000 devices. Uh, Pune branch has 3,000 devices. London has 5,000 devices. So what you do, in order to manage these devices, you put secondary site on these locations. So let's say secondary site 1, secondary site 2, secondary site 3, secondary site 4, and secondary site 5. So primary site is nothing but a Windows server. On that you create your SCCM primary site server. Similar to primary site, you secondary site is a Windows server. On that you install the SCCM secondary site. All these secondary site will be reporting to SCCM primary site server. Got it? Any confusion, guys, so far with this primary and secondary site?
Mm.
Okay. Now,
So I have a doubt actually. So saying SCCM primary site, SCCM secondary site, and SCCM central administration site, right?
mm,
So uh, each of them has different capacities for handling the number of devices.
mhm.
So each site will have like a variation of SCCM software, or how is this designed? Like for SCCM primary site, how is the software designed? For SCCM secondary site and SCCM central administration site, how is the software designed?
Software designed. Software as in
Uh,
SCCM is like,
uh,
hmm,
like what is the variation in each SCCM? You told the device number of devices that they can be handled. That will be more in central administration site, like totally 7 lakhs, and in primary site it is it was 100,000, and secondary side it's lower than that. So what is the difference in, apart from this devices, number of devices that can be handled, apart from that, what is the difference in each server?
the difference is SCCM secondary site cannot exist if you don't have a primary site. Okay. Without primary,
Oh, okay.
you cannot add a secondary site. It's like parent child. Child cannot exist without parent. Okay. And in terms of software, it's software. It's not like one application will be here installed here and the other application will be installed. It is like a component of SCCM will be running. Some services of SCCM running on the primary and some services will be running on the secondary. SCCM primary site needs a database. It needs a
Okay.
database to store all the information, all the devices information, 50,000 devices, or the deployment or SCCM in this database. All the devices information, everything will be kept out in this database. But secondary site does not need a database. Secondary site does not need a database. It keeps on writing in the same database where primary site is writing.
It's just like ADC concept.
Yeah, AD and additional domain control, ADC,
Yes.
something like that. Yes, you are right. Okay.
Okay.
So let's consider that you have grown even bigger, and now your count has increased from 50,000 to 125,000, for example. You have purchased another companies, or you have put multiple branches. Now the number of devices has increased to 125,000 devices, or even bigger, maybe 2 lakh devices you have to manage. So what you do, you create one more primary site. So this is going to be your primary site 2. This one was primary site 1. And it will also have some branches, right? Let's say it has branches in Hong Kong, Singapore, Manila, and other region. It is also managing all the uh, secondary sites. So these are the secondary site, primary site is managing. Now the moment you add a new primary site, you have added one primary site here, right? The moment you add, you need one central administration site to manage all those primary sites. Without central administration site, you cannot have more than one primary site. So which will be reporting, these two will be reporting to CAS, central administration site. So CAS is basically managing the sites, not the devices. Unlike primary site or secondary site. They are managing the devices, but CAS is managing the sites. It also has a database similar to primary site. Primary site will have, each primary site will have a database, like this has a database 1, and this has a database 2, and CAS will also have its database, which is keeping both of them in one database. So DB3, for example. So this database will be replicating here, and this database will be replicating here. So one database CAS database contains everything, all the information of primary site 1, all the information of primary site 2. Clear?
Yeah. So is there any backup systems if the primary site fails? Like, so is there any backup for this?
Yeah, backup is running. We have to create a backup and put it on the backup plan. Every day the backup is running, and if something goes wrong, you can restore using backup file. And even though if SCCM is down, for example, primary site is down, secondary site will keep on working. These will keep on working. They will not stop. But the only thing is, they will not get the new policy from primary site, because primary site is the one where the policies are flowing to the secondary site. Primary site is the one which is sending the policy to the secondary sites. Got it?
Yes. So what difference? So if primary side is down, I know that secondary side is going to work, but it doesn't get any policies enforced on that. Uh,
Yes. Yes,
so,
whatever
but
the
there will be.
policy it has stored so far, it will keep on doing that one.
Okay.
Any other question, guys? Okay. So if you guys don't have any question, let me go to the,
I
so
have
we,
two questions.
yeah, go ahead.
I have two questions. This database replication, when you said from primary to the central cache, is it a bidirectional replication or is it a unidirectional?
Unidirectional.
Only from primary to cache?
Yeah.
Okay, so does the cache from I mean, send out any policies? Only the primary site will have all the policy information.
Central administration site is basically managing your sites. Okay.
Okay.
Not managing any policies or any devices or deployment. Deployment and policies are basically handled by the primary site. So your primary site can exist without a central administration site. Primary site exists without a secondary site, but central administration site cannot exist if you don't have more than one primary site server.
Yeah.
There is no need
And
for central administration site. So basically, in the companies, there are 99% of the companies all over the globe running without central administration site, because one primary site is capable of handling more than 100,000, up to 100,000 devices, and there are only few handful of the companies which have more than 100,000 devices, like Google or Wipro or TCS or Infosys or IBM. They will have more than 100,000 devices, but other companies, the 99% of the companies, they will have only one primary site and multiple secondary sites. Okay.
uh, yeah, about this, when you say that primary site is, for example, when you have a cache and two primary site servers, and for example, like when one of the primary site server has gone down, so the second, so until you restore from the DB or to the backup, the primary site is unavailable, Or for example, the primary site is completely crashed and you cannot even the backup is got corrupted. So in those cases, what will be the scenario? Can you promote one of the secondary site server to the primary
No,
site and
no.
or can the secondary site servers from another one site can talk to the other primary site server?
Secondary site cannot be promoted to a primary site, and secondary site cannot be associated with a different site. Okay, it's like your child cannot be other's child, right? My child
Okay.
cannot be other's child. So you will have to, you know, rebuild the primary site server which was crashed again with the restore it with the backup file and repoint the secondary site back to the where it was uh, added before. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we discussed about SCCM sites. Now we will talk about SCCM site roles. Okay, so the very first site role of SCCM we can discuss is management point. What is management point? Management point keeps all the policies and it is a communication bridge between the SCCM server and the agent. So you have your SCCM server here, SCCM server, and on SCCM server you install one of the roles. This is your management point. This is SCCM component management point. And you have your devices, let's say Windows 10 or Windows 7. Thousands and thousands of devices are there, right? So management point is the one which does the communication between the server and the devices. So suppose SCCM server needs to deploy Google Chrome to all the devices. The SCCM server will send the policy to management point that deploy Google Chrome to all the computers, and management point will send the policy to all the devices that Google Chrome needs to be installed in your computers. So SCCM agent will take the policy from management point and do the things as per the management point uh, instruction. So it is basically a communication bridge between the server and the client. Clear? So that was management point. Now the second role of SCCM is distribution point. So distribution point will be available somewhere close to the devices. Okay, DP, distribution point, and this contains your files, let's say Google Chrome or Firefox or application or software update files or operating system. So in case you want to in case you wanna deploy one application in Mumbai office, for example, and these devices belong to Mumbai. Okay, Mumbai. So you need to create one distribution point which is locally available in Mumbai on local LAN network. So you send the file to DP. Creates the DP keeps the file, and from this DP, all the computer will take the file, and Google Chrome or whatever it is, they will get the file from there. So this is basically your warehouse which keeps this stuff, like your DMart or Walmart, wherein you go and get your stuff from there. Clear? Then the third one is your software update point. So software update point we install on the SCCM server or somewhere, and that goes out to Microsoft Update Server. This is your micro update server. And this is your software update point. And that is a connection with SCCM server. This actually goes out to Microsoft Update Server and bring the patches from Microsoft Update Server. All the patches which you need. Let's say you want to have a critical update or important updates or roll-ups or security updates for Windows 7 or Windows 10 or for server. So all these things are available in this Microsoft Update Server, and as software update point will communicate to Microsoft Update Server, and from here it will take the patches back. Clear? Reporting services point. Reporting services point is also one of the important role of SCCM. So this is your SCCM server, and this one is your database server. Database server. You install the reporting services point on database, and from here SCCM server can take the reports from the database. RSP, reporting services point. Clear, guys?
So all of these roles are like components of SCCM.
Yes, these are the roles of SCCM. We are talking about roles. Yeah,
Okay.
SCCM site roles.
So you told there will be separate servers for each and every role, right?
It's not mandatory. You can have multiple roles on one server. Okay, either you can install it on a primary site, or you can install on a secondary site, or you can install on a plain Windows server as well. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have um, let's say you have one primary site here and one secondary site in this location, one secondary site. These are the secondary site. This one is your primary site and this one is your secondary site. Sorry, this one is your secondary site. Now in case this secondary site goes down, what will happen? So we are talking about fallback status point. Fallback status point. So the devices will not be able to communicate, and devices in this region, for example, Mumbai has 2000 devices, right? It has 2K devices, and those 2K devices, 2000 devices will not be able to do anything because the secondary site in Mumbai is down. So it will look for a server where fallback status point is installed. So basically we can install fallback status point on here, fallback status point on the primary site server. So if it is down, these 2000 devices will not be able to communicate to the secondary side. It will keep on trying to connect to the secondary side. After a certain period of time, it will check for which site has fallback status point, and then it will go to the fallback status point here, primary side, to get the policies, to get the file from there. Okay, so it's like alternate method of connection. Well, if this is down, then you have a different method of communication. So we talked about fallback status point, then we have service connection point. This is basically for your mobile device management, Intune. So using SCCM, you have your SCCM server here. You have a service connection point. You install service connection point on this server or somewhere, SCP, and using that one, you connect to, you integrate Intune in SCCM, and from there you can manage your mobile devices like Android, iPhone, or Windows Phone. Clear? So we discussed about management point, distribution point, fallback status point, asset intelligence, synchronization point. So let me remove this one. Point number 7. Asset intelligence synchronization point. This is also one of the roles of SCCM. Now you have these devices, let's say thousands and thousands of devices are there, right? And all these devices will have softwares, right? Let's say if you calculate of all these devices have like 80,000 softwares. So these 80,000 softwares need a categorization. So it will go to the SCCM. This is your SCCM server. You will have your asset intelligence role here. what do you call, asset intelligence synchronization point. It will take all the entries, 80,000 entries, asset intelligence point will take and take it to the Microsoft synchronization point. This is on cloud, Microsoft server, Microsoft intelligence point. It will take the data to Microsoft, and Microsoft will categorize these softwares. These 80,000 softwares will be categorized something like this: browser, player, antivirus, um, document. It can have like uh, Google Chrome, Firefox, uh, Internet Explorer, UC browser. Okay, all the browser will be categorized in one family. VLC media player, window media player, MX player. Okay, that's a Symantec antivirus, Symantec, AVG, Norton, all will be categorized in one family. Word, Notepad, WordPad, Notepad plus plus. So that's how the Microsoft Intelligence Point will do the categorization. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Then you have endpoint protection. So point number 8, role number 8 is endpoint protection. This endpoint protection is basically your antivirus. So you have your SCCM server here. You can install one role here that is called endpoint protection role. Endpoint protection, endpoint protection role, endpoint protection point, endpoint protection point role. And this role will help you to deploy antivirus to all the computers. Endpoint protection, antivirus to all the computers. And this will be managing your malware or any Trojan or any threat in any computer. This will be managing something like this. You see, I have AVG. So endpoint protection will also be installed in all the computers, and if it finds any virus, it will report back to the endpoint protection point, and that you can see in SCCM console. How many computers are infected with virus? How many computers are good with do not have any virus? And you can create a policy when the scanning will happen. When can you do the quick scan, full scan? What all exception you can create? All those things are available.
So actually, you mentioned the endpoint protection as deploying the antivirus, right? But how there will be a connection with the third-party software and SCCM? How does SCCM actually connect with the AVG or Norton or Symantec? Because it's a third-party
It does
software,
not,
right?
it does not connect. It has it can only integrate endpoint protection. That's a Microsoft product, not Semantic or AVG. You will have to create AVG server or Norton server to manage all the devices. It does not have any connection with the SCCM. Got it?
Okay. Yeah, but so then you told that there will be some status showing up which system has virus, which system is actually free
Only
of malware and
so that is possible only when you deploy endpoint forefront endpoint protection from SCCM. That's a Microsoft product. But if you deploy semantic, then you will have to go to the different portal, semantic server. Got it? Not on
Okay.
SCCM.
Okay.
Semantic
Okay.
endpoint protection is different, and endpoint forefront endpoint protection is different.
Now, forefront?
Yeah, forefront is a company which Microsoft acquired, and they are creating endpoint protection, antivirus. So Microsoft is actually gel with that product, and you can integrate that product in SCCM, but not as semantic or AVG and other product in SCCM. They will have to be managed standalone.
Okay, because Windows 10 now actually it is integrated with
Defender.
Defender, right? So I
Yes.
thought that that would be the case actually this time
Yeah,
for the
Defender is
endpoint
not.
protection.
Defender is nothing but endpoint protection.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So SMS provider. Point number 9. So you have your SCCM server and you have your database server here. SCCM keeps on writing in its database, but SCCM does not write on its own. It gives the data to an agent. An agent does the writing and communication. SMS agent. SMS provider, sorry. This is a postman which takes the data from SCCM server and take it to the database server. Got it? So basically it contains
What type of information stored in database?
all the information, like your computer related information, your deployment related
Okay.
information, your policies, your SCCM related information. Everything will be saved in the database. So SCCM does not send the data directly to database. It sends the data to SMS provider. SMS provider takes the data and put it to the database because it creates the log. SMS provider will have log. It can find out who is doing what, and SMS provider is also putting the data in the queue. For example, the database is busy at the moment, so SMS provider will take it in the queue, and as soon as the database is free, it will feed in the data in the database. Okay.
So this
Clear?
database would be in the primary site, right?
Yeah, every primary site server has to have a database. Without database, primary site cannot exist. Now there are two roles which is needed here: application catalog web service point and application catalog website point. So these are the roles which will help you to create one app store for users. Your users can go to your, let's say it's a internal app store, just like your Google Play Store or Apple App Store, you go to internalappstore.com. You can create a website like that. Users can go there on that website, and on that website it will be connected with SCCM. This website will have a backend connection with SCCM application catalog. So you can publish your application in this website like Google Chrome, Firefox, all the common applications, 7-zip, putty, okay, Microsoft Office. User can go to this website and they can download the application themselves. They don't need to come to the help desk. They can go to the website and click on this and it will get downloaded in their computer, downloaded and installed. This is called self-service portal. Just like Google Play Store, we go there and we download the application. We don't need anyone's help, right? Similar to that, we can create a website and we can connect that website to SCCM. So whatever the application we publish from SCCM will be available to the users. Users can install the application themselves. Clear? State migration point. State migration point, when you are migrating one device from one operating system to another operating system. This is your state migration point. And let's say you have Windows 7 and you are migrating it to Windows 10. So at state migration point will help you to capture all the user setting and the network setting of this device and put it in the state migration point shared location. And once the computer is migrated to the newer version, let's say it is migrated to Windows 10, then state migration point will deploy the same settings back to Windows 10. Clear? So we talked about sites. This is the diagram for sites. Let's say the first one, this is your standalone primary site. The second one is primary with secondary. Third one, central, primary, and secondary. Same as this one, central, primary, and secondary. Central administration site cannot exist without more than one primary site. When you have more than one primary site, you have to have a central administration site. Now the requirement for so the hardware requirement for a primary site, we will be going with a primary site. Okay, we'll have one primary site, we'll have one database, we'll have one domain controller, and we'll start building our lab. So the requirement for that is the processor should be AMD processor and minimum speed should be 1.4 gigahertz. RAM can be 2 gigabyte. This one I'm talking about when the database is on a different server, not on the same server. Okay, you need a SQL server and the disk space minimum 50 gigabyte. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it properly, but You can go with Windows Server 2008 or Windows Server 2008 R2 or Windows Server 2012 or 12 R2 for SCCM 2012. But we are going with Windows SCCM 2016-06. So either we can take Windows Server 2012 R2 or Windows 7 2012 64-bit, and we need a SQL database from SQL 2014 SP1 and above. Any confusion, guys? So our lab will be like this: one Windows server here, another Windows server will be here. So that this will contain your Active Directory domain controller, DNS, and this one will have your SCCM. In case if you wanna create one more server for database, you can create a separate server for database, that is also Windows server, and this is going to be your database server. Or you can keep the database server on the SCCM sites server. Same database server will be used for SCCM. And one Windows 7 computer, the client computer, or Windows 10, all will be connected on the same LAN network. This is your LAN network. This one will connected, this one connected, this one connected, this one connected. This is our lab setup. Any confusion, guys? Any question?
Mm.
No.
Okay. So
So for Azure, what do I need to do? Like, what kind of software I need to install? Because I'm going to simulate it in cloud, right?
Azure, I will send you a document. What you need to do, give me 1 second. Basically, what you need to do is you go to uh, free Azure trial, and you look for this one, $200. You see, so it gives you free $200 for first 30 days. No, no, not this one. Sorry. This one. To start free with 200 credit, and it is showing free here. So we'll go with this one, and it will give you $200. Or if you are in India, you will get 13,300 credit that you can consume within first 30 days. After that, it will be expired if you don't uh, extend the subscription. So free trial, start free, and put all your details. It also needs a credit card, but it won't charge anything. It's just for the verification. So don't worry about it if it is asking for the credit card details. So sign
Okay.
up, sign in with your details, uh, or create a new account. If you, I would suggest create a new Outlook account or Microsoft. So go to live.com first. The very first thing, you need to go to live.com and create your account here. Once the account is created, you go back to your uh, free trial thing and put your account there. and it will ask you for your phone number. Make sure you give all the details correct, because it will send text message for the
Okay.
verification. I'll send you the step by step. I have a written step for Azure. Azure send item. Okay, I'll send that to you. Don't worry. I have a written somewhere. So you need to perform that step. First of all, you need to have your live account created, and then once that is done, this you need to create, and then you need to go to free Azure trial portal and
Okay.
create your account. And tomorrow I'll show you how to create your servers. So don't worry about it. Uh, how to create servers, I'll let you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So any more question, guys, before we wrap it up? Pankaj,
No.
okay.
Nothing from my end.
Kiran, no question. Okay. So was the session informative? Uh, did you guys learn something today, or it's like you did not understand? Did I explain you? Did I answer your questions, guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kashi.
Okay. So this one, the first lecture is the theory one, and you have to keep your concept clear, because from tomorrow we will start the practical. We'll touch some theory part as well, but most of the time we will be doing the practical. Okay, so first lecture is very important in case you, for example, when we are doing application deployment, so or software patching, so you need to understand the concept, how the software update point communicate with the Microsoft update server, you know so in case you are not clear with this concept, you can ask me anytime, or you can watch this video. I will upload this video to the Google Drive and share the link with you guys. So download this and keep it handy as and when it is needed. Okay.
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 Okay, guys. So thank you for. Is the timing good? 8 o'clock my time, the same time.
Yep.
Okay. So timing is good for all the people. So we will be doing the training in the same time as we did today, same time for tomorrow as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining the session. I hope the session was informative. We'll meet again. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.